Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another recap of Catfish. All right, we back, we doing it, honey, and I'm keeping it consistent. Definitely make sure that you guys, if you're not yet part of the family, Samore Love Real TV, that you go ahead, you hit subscribe, you turn on your post notifications so you don't miss my videos when I be posting them. Cause I try to do it after the show airs, but depending on what's going on, honey, life just takes a toll. But I try to do it if I can't do it the same night, then the next day for sure. Usually not more than 2 days, cause then the show start getting stale, and So I want to do it when it's fresh, so we could just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So this was about a girl named Gabby. It was actually her cousin who wrote into the show. And Gabby, she's 29 years old. So she met this dude online. His name was Kendrick. And of course, here we go. She falls head over heels for him. But her cousin was trying to tell her, like, something ain't right. I don't think that he's a real person. Like, he's probably a catfish. So the plot twist, the crazy part of this story is that this guy was supposed to meet up with her, and then he ends up dying. He got shot twice in the chest, and then he flatlines. Well, all right, he didn't flatline. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he did die. So, she's over here mourning this guy, and her cousin's worried about her because she sees how, devastated she is by all of this. And she's like, yo, like, something don't seem right. Like, I don't really feel like this is really him. So now they get on the show. Well, first her cousin came on the show and just kind of went over the whole situation. And then later on, they had her come on the show. So she's, like I said, 29. She has 4 kids. She says the reason why she started talking to this Kendrick guy is because what you call it. Sorry, I was looking for something. It's because Kendrick ended up coming kind of like at the right time. Like, she was away from her husband. I mean, well, I don't know if she was married, but she was away from whoever she was with for like over a year. I guess that's the father of her 4 kids, because she did mention she had 4 kids. And she was ready to kind of like start something new. I realized that I didn't have my stuff on, my jewelry on. I hate when I don't have it on because my fingers look so whack. But so that's the reason why, I guess she was kind of vulnerable. She was in that space where she just kind of was ready to kind of start something new. I remember I kind of got caught up in something like that, because it was like, I was lonely or whatever, and that'd be the worst times to get. I mean, obviously, that's when you need to get somebody, is when you're not with somebody else. But it's like, sometimes if you're still thinking about that old relationship, or if you were in a long-term relationship, that rebound situation is not always best. But so now she also said that the crazy thing about this whole situation was that some female had hit her up, supposedly his ex, his crazy ex, and she ends up telling her that, why you talking to my man and stuff like that, the whole nine. But she's like, you know what, like, you can still talk to him. Like, when in the freaking world has anybody who says that that's my man still allowed you to talk to them? Like, unless they done with them at that point, or unless y'all not really together. So that part was kind of weird. So 2 days later, after that situation, then that's when Kendrick, well, then she was supposed to meet up with him after that. And then 2 days later, that's when she found out about the whole he got shot situation, had to be rushed to the hospital. And then he was supposed to get surgery. And then she sent him like a boob pic for good luck, to make sure his mind was right when going into surgery. So, yeah, that's a little weird. You know what? And we're going to come back to that. And then she gets this message from Tim, who hit her up, who was supposedly his cousin, who let her know, like, he passed away and he was cremated. So that was the end of it. I guess she even posted a picture of this guy talking about R.I.P., with the wings and the cloud and everything. Like, it was looking all official. I'm just like, this cannot, like, not the angel wings. Like, that's when you know it's real, when you see the angel wings, or at least you're supposed to, So now, Cammy and Neve, they go ahead, they do an image search, And that was the first thing that showed that things wasn't right. Okay, so now with the image search, there comes up this guy who calls himself Gucci. You know, he kind of remind me of somebody that I seen on Instagram before, like one of them Instagram funny comedy guys. But I'm not sure if that's really him or not. But that's what it kind of reminded me of. So now things are really kind of unfolding that it's like a real lie. Okay, like if you didn't think it was a lie before, like now you think this is a real lie. And they checked the phone number. It turned out to be a text-free number, you know, one of those types of things. And they did see that Tim's name was registered to a real person. So I think it was the ex-girl that was a text-free number. And then like this Tim guy was an actual person. So at least that's one person that they kind of can say, all right, now we can kind of look a little further into this guy. So now they end up speaking to the real Gucci. Well, not the real Gucci man, but the real Gucci that, you know, he was the one for the photos. And he's like, nah, I do not know this lady. I do not have no relationship or no relations with this woman. So yeah, that pretty much confirmed it and let us know that, yeah, he was being catfished. And he does like a little cameo for her just so that when they reveal everything to her, she'll be able to know like it wasn't him. The picture of the person in the hospital, it kind of gave me the stereotype. I'm gonna let you know right now. You know how they say like, oh, them black people look alike. Like it was kind of like one of those moments because both Neve and Cammy were kind of like, because the picture of the guy in the hospital, I can't even front. Like, it kind of did look like this dude. Like, he really did some research, whoever this catfish was, because he's like, nah, that ain't me. So it's like, yo, they really searched the whole internet for a man in the hospital that favors this man to post to her so that she could really believe that he was in the hospital. Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, damn. He was like, nah, that wasn't me. I wasn't in the hospital. That ain't me. So that was crazy. But both Neve and Cam said the same thing. Like, yo, I thought that was you. Like, you know, it's very similar. They had a similar face shape and everything. Probably just maybe a tad bit darker, but it could have just been the lighting because sometimes you can't really tell nowadays with you know all the apps that we have and all the lighting situations. Sometimes people could look darker than they are, you know, depending on certain lights. So you never know. But yeah, that was crazy. um, so when they did tell her about it, she was definitely upset about it. She was like, you know what, to be honest, she would rather him be dead because then it wouldn't feel so humiliating to her. It wouldn't feel like, haha, the joke's on you. Like, we got you. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't feel like one of those types of situations. And that's how it was feeling. Like, she just felt like she got played, and she kind of did, you know? They played with your heart. They played with your mind. You know what I noticed? She had a cute little bird tattoo. It kind of reminded me of mine. You know, I got the whole situation going on. I know that's random and just straight out of context, you know. But, you know, I was just thinking that. But anyway, so this Timothy guy, he actually, it showed that he lives in Georgia, but then it also showed that at some point he lived in South Carolina. So the plot thickens. So now Timothy, they end up writing him, and the weird thing was that Laurenette had hit them back, which is her cousin. But so they're like, is she connected? But luckily, it didn't seem like she was connected. It was just the fact that she was at Gabby's house. So she seen Gabby like getting all distraught when she saw the video of, you know, the cameo of Kendrick and how she was just like hurt by all of this. So she's like, yo, you make sure y'all got her, you know, because that's my cousin and I love her, you know. And I could see they probably have a really tight situation. Either that or they're just emotional girls because, you know, they was both crying and stuff. And Laurenette was crying like twice just talking about her cousin. So it seems like she really deeply cares for her. Like, you know, like, she's probably like her keeper. As you see, she's the one who called in. And, you know, like, I probably would do that for, like, a little sister of mine or even my cousin. Like, if she had some situation going on and she ain't listening to me, then I would definitely, you know, have to do what I gotta do. I ain't trying to embarrass her, but I also want her to kind of see it. If I'm not able to do it, then, you know, but we'll probably talk about it before I actually do it, maybe, you know, so it won't be a surprise and then she get mad at me. I feel like they probably had a conversation before she actually decided to hit up, Neve and them, hit up Catfish. So now, after that, they write Timothy, to let him know that they want to talk to him. Finally, eventually, he does answer back and said that Kendrick isn't dead. And then he's like, "Oh, do you want me to clear this up?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, no judgment, but we want you to come on a Zoom." And Gabby's like, "F that, I'm judging. Like, if that's somebody I know is about to be on and popping on site." And I'm like, "Yeah, she's definitely giving me New Yorker vibes. Like, girl, did you come from New York and move to Georgia? Because you giving me the girls from the hood, the Latina girls that don't play, they be ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where I got the accent from, but it just came out. But y'all know what I'm saying. Like, she just seems like she's like from the hood. Like, she's about that life. Could be an act, but that's what I was seeing. So anyways, so here we go. Finally, Tim comes on, and Tim is 33 years old, so he's older than her. He's from Georgia. And the crazy thing about it is that he says he made an account because he was doing research for a book that he's writing. So this was like pretty much about like a not threesome, like a love triangle type of situation. And he needed to see real emotion so he can capture that into the story. So that's why she ended up being part of the story, and she kept on engaging in the conversation. So she was the perfect target for this scenario, and she allowed the story to just continue to manifest. And I mean, what I'm thinking now, because the crazy thing about it is that he kept on finding ways to ask her for like boob pics and stuff like that. All right. So this is problem number one. And they didn't even address that when they spoke to this dude. I'm realizing right now. So he's like a little pervert. That's number one. And number two, like this dude, he literally had like no emotions when he was on there. And I'm just like, why is this okay? Why is it, like, all right. Let me keep on going. So she was like, so he said that the reason why he didn't, stop is because she kept on engaging. And he said he had to find a way to end things because she started wanting to see him and things like that. So that's why he had to kill off the character. So she's like, nah, we're not going to do that. Like, she was like, you're the one who contacted me to begin with. You said that you found me through a group chat or whatever, and they said I was pretty, which was a lie. He said that he actually was just searching random people's name, and her name popped up. And out of all the people that he searched, she was the only one that kept talking to him. But she's like, you're not going to sit here and pretend like I just was talking to you randomly when you're the one who hit me up. Like, yeah, she fell for it, but he's also the one who initiated it. So let's not leave that part out of the story to just make it look like she was looking for a friend. And so he was like, they asked him, like, kind of like baiting him. I feel like they was like trying to like force an apology out of him. Like, if somebody's really genuinely trying to give an apology, I don't feel like you should really force it out. Sometimes you do have to let people see what they did wrong, because sometimes initially they won't realize that they hurt you until you kind of put it out there and break it down for people. And it's sad that you have to do that with certain people, but it's either just they're not mentally able to realize what they did wrong, or they just have this wall up where they feel where they're just like not trying to show emotions, they're not trying to do it, and you have to literally tell them like, you've hurt me. If you care about me, obviously he don't care about her, but if you care about me, like, this is what you did wrong, and break it down for them. So especially with kids, I mean, some, like, especially teenagers, because sometimes they just don't know. But this is a grown man, 33 years old, and he was just saying like, whatever. Like, she's like, you played with my emotions, and you literally saw me devastated, you saw me crying on Snapchat, and like, you finally want to come in as and you came in as yourself at the end of the day. Like, you knew what you was doing, and that's the thing. Like, he's not stupid. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was playing with her. So Comes to find out, like he said he was never attracted to her. This was all just to get the reactions. And yeah. And Nev was like, why did you, like, you hurt her at the end of the day? Like, why did you do that? He was like, you did this just because you wanted to see a reaction, which is crazy. He was like, so don't, because the guy was just like, I don't really have any remorse because it wasn't real. He's like, don't pretend like it's not real, because you did this because you wanted to see real, raw emotions. So you can't try to say something you want to see real, but then this is not real. No, it's real for her. Maybe for you, you're creating these fictional characters, but this is her real life that she's living out. And it's like, he was just so withdrawn from the whole situation, just kind of pretending like he lived in this freaking fantasy bubble. Like, dude, this is real life people. Like, this could get you real hurt in real life. Like, come see me outside type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, you're really hurting people, and this could cause people to commit suicide. This could cause people to go into bouts of depression. Like, she probably was depressed for some time until she was able to get over this guy, you know? So yeah, and we even saw her tear up. So like, this is something that really touched her. This was something that really got to her. So at that point, Cammy kind of interjected when Gabby was talking to him and trying to tell her, like I was saying, like, trying to explain her feelings, because this dude had already plainly said he had no remorse. She was trying to explain herself, and Cammy was just like, nah, stop it, because I feel like this guy is kind of getting off on seeing you like this, and he doesn't deserve it. And I totally agree with her. Like, don't tell him how he devastated you, how he hurted you, because at the end of the day, this dude doesn't care. He's over here smiling and just looking away. He had no real good eye contact. Like, I just feel like and there are people like this, like, they just are so detached. Like, they're just, their emotions and empathy are just at a level where it hasn't matured. It's not to the point where they can realistically have really engaging or good conversations with people. And some people are just kind of internet people. They can only engage with you on the internet, but in real life they can't have really good conversations, or they're more introverted or whatever. Or yeah, they just lack that emotion that is needed. They just kind of will shrug things off. Or even if they are feeling some type of emotion, they probably will not show it. Some people are not capable or have made themselves not capable, but there are those who will just not show it, even if they do feel something. So you never know which one he is or which one certain people are unless you really know them well. But he could be one or the other. He was kind of awkward to me, a little bit, if you want to call it weird. Wouldn't be my friend in real life, in IRL. So yeah, but so eventually he changed his tune once they had like a one-on-one with him. He said that he was just being a character, and he's all about character development. And he did say, he does feel sorry about it at this point, but he was just like, he wouldn't really say it to her again, because when he said, I apologize, which just felt forced and fake, she was like, you could take that apology and shove it up your ass. Because at the end of the day, like, you did what you did, and you know what you did, and you really don't care, because he was even smiling about it. I don't know if it was like he felt awkward, or if it's like, damn, I finally gave an apology, I finally put some emotion out there, this is what she's telling me. That kind of messed up too. But it could have been somewhat of a defense mechanism, the whole laughing thing, but he told them, how he felt or whatever, which, like I said, I don't know if it's genuine or not. I don't know the guy for a fact, but I don't know. You already said you have no remorse, so I don't think a few words are going to really change it that much. I feel it's more so you feel the pressure, and like, it's more so you're sorry you kind of got caught type of situation. Like how people will do crazy things to you, crazy things, they'll cheat on you or whatever, and then they ain't sorry until they get caught. Otherwise they would have kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But yeah, so finally, when they, when they get their whole talk to people type of situation, they said that Gabby, she's happy now. She has closure. She's focusing on herself and her kids, which is great. Hopefully she'll find people in the real world instead of, and hopefully not in the club, because we know about those types of places. Most of the times it ain't the best. um Hopefully she's able to find somebody who will be there for her and her 4 kids, and just, be able to find something meaningful and something real and not something forced, fake, or where they're using you as an experiment or a guinea pig, as she called it. And he says that he retired the character. So, I mean, you know what I was going to say, what I was thinking about earlier, and I kind of had a brain fart. He needs, if he do create this book and it comes out to be some kind of hit, he needs to run her money, because at the end of the day, he used her for research without her permission. So yeah, he was her muse, his inspiration. So I feel like he should definitely be sending her a cut if this book was to get out and be big. But who knows? But thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.